And welcome to This Day. It is Monday, July 3rd. I'm Michael Taylor. Got a great show for you today. On today's show, we have OC Labs folks coming in there. Brian Mullenbruch is going to be talking to us about a great service they're offering. You know, when you go to a lab, you have to make the appointment, you have to go in there and wait your turn. They come to you. It's a great mobile service, and you might want to hear more about that on that interview. It's going to be a good one coming up. And then we have Congresswoman Young Kim. She's going to give us a congressional update and what's going on in her district, so we look forward to that. Hey, stay informed. We've got an important one for you. It's about driving. The Optimal Aging Lecture Series. Going to be talking about driving safety for folks in their older years. Some of the things that happen to us when we get older, some of the things that cause the most accidents for older adults. So that's a really good one. That lecture series is going to be on July 6th, 2:30 p.m. at Clubhouse 7. Make sure you call the phone number there on the screen and get that information about how you can get that info and be at that series. Our weather, it's been a great weekend, and we're going to have a great rest of the week as well. We have those morning clouds hanging around, but they're going to be peeling off as they have been for the past many, many days, and we are going to have the AM clouds, then mostly sunny. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be our sunniest days of the week, and then Friday as well. Not as warm, though, as the high pressure kind of moves off, and we're going to have a little bit of more coastal weather, coastal influence coming in, so it gets a little cooler as we head to the end of the week. Let's take a look at the sunrise, sunset times. Our sunrise this morning was 5:45, and our sunset was 8:04. That woman looks like she's been attending the Wellness in the Woods seminars. She's doing that meditation down there at Laguna Beach. That's a great shot down there. We have some meetings to tell you about, and then when we come back, we're going to hear from the folks from OC Labs. Stay with us.
The Salvation Army Orange County is committed to building hope in people's lives rather than just more shelters. The Center of Hope, a comprehensive homeless care solution, combines a 325-bed emergency shelter, 72 permanent supportive housing apartments, on-site medical, dental, vision, and mental health care, and an award-winning drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. Donate today to transform lives, create safer neighborhoods, and provide an opportunity to end chronic homelessness in Orange County.
Hi there, we're Orange County Labs. Please call us today for your VIP concierge phlebotomist in-home lab collection appointment. We simply come to you in the safety and convenience of your very own home for any lab test. As a covered benefit at no cost to you, we will draw your blood for your physician with results the very next day. One call to Orange County Labs does it all. We look forward to seeing you all soon.
Hello and welcome back to This Day. Joining me now is Brian Mullenbruch. Thank you for joining us. You're with OC Labs. We're so happy to have you here today. Yeah. And I have to tell you that it's so funny that you came on today because just recently I saw the OC Lab cars driving down the freeway, and then I literally had ripped out an advertisement of the OC Labs in my local neighborhood magazine, and then I come into work and they're like, oh, you're going to be interviewing Brian. Tell me, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, I've been in the lab industry for over 30 years, and it's always been part of my background with LabCorp and some other labs to open up draw stations for the patients in various communities. And recently, I've had an opportunity to be of service to my family and some of my friends to get their blood work sometimes. And they would always ask me if I could just take some time off to take them to a draw station to get their blood drawn. And I just thought, there's got to be a better way, you know? And as I thought about it, we have a fleet of 12 cars and these phlebotomists. Why don't I just send a phlebotomist to you? And then we would draw their blood simply and then bring it back to the lab and we'd process it for them the same day. And as I thought about that, I was like, why don't I offer this service to everybody in Orange County? So it's just really grown for us. It's been a nice niche. and it provides that personalized service, that to treat everybody like a VIP. It's that concierge, Nordstrom style service.
Yeah, I feel like it's a celebrity service.
Yeah, it
this
really
is
is.
the kind of thing really wealthy people get to have.
And we do that. We even go out to Beverly Hills sometimes, so we do get to meet some really fascinating people. But yeah, it's been wonderful.
So basically, it's efficiency. Simply, the lab comes to you. And I thought this was really interesting as I was reading through the information. Your name, Mullenbrook, actually means bridge builder in German.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. My whole life I've taken that mantra to really try to connect with everybody, and build relationships, long-term, permanent relationships are what I value. And that's how we feel about our patients as well. So over the time that we've been servicing patients at their home, we get to know them, really focus on them. There aren't any other distractions. We take our time. So even though it's only a 10-minute process from the time we enter your home to draw your blood, it's about 10 minutes, maybe 15, 20, depending on the patient's needs. But it's in and out, and it's very convenient.
Definitely so convenient. No waiting in the labs, no perhaps getting sick, being around other people. Especially in this community, some people are older. It might be more difficult to go to another appointment. It seems like as I get older, there's more and more doctor's appointments and more lab work to be done. So that's so nice to have that convenience. And how do you say it? Phlebotomists?
Phlebotomists.
So these are very trained, highly trained individuals.
Yeah, they're state licensed and had hours and hours of training, and it's a rigorous process for the state to certify them as phlebotomists. And they're really trained in acute patient care and drawing blood and processing all the samples exactly the way the lab prefers them to be.
Yeah, very specific field, I'm sure. And one of the other amazing thing is any test can be ordered, and you don't actually have to go through your doctor?
So you can order online on our website, orangecountylabs.com, and you can self-order tests, or you can also get an order from your physician. And we accept any order if it's on whatever rec it's on, as long as you have Medicare, Medi-Cal, CalOptima, TRICARE, a non-HMO insurance. We accept it all. We'll process it in our own laboratory after we draw your blood. It's to our lab within a couple of hours, and then it's on the machine and processing. And usually all your results are back the very next day.
That's crazy that the turnaround can be that quickly. I don't think even at normal lab places that I get it that quickly. So what a great idea. I think this is just fabulous. I can't wait to use it myself.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I was already planning on calling you guys.
Okay.
So a little side note, I understand you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Some of the paperwork that came through as well.
Yeah, well, I don't want to alienate anybody, but I've enjoyed a really good run the last few years. Yeah.
Now, have you done any famous celebrities, or is that like HEPA you can't discuss?
Yeah. So one thing I think is really important to know is that we're very discreet, and I know that the city, some of the municipalities that we work with, a lot of the police officers and firemen and first responders, military, they like that kind of discreet service where they're kind of coming in and taking care of their business in 5 minutes and then leaving. So same thing with the celebrities, like they don't really want to go to a draw station, and they just want that privacy. So we really respect that.
What are all the different types of testing that can be done?
So I would say that all of your chemistries, your basic blood chemistries can be done. Special chemistries like hormone levels, tumor markers, any infectious disease testing we do, hematology. I mean, we basically do it all. So it's all done in-house in our 6,000 square foot facility located here in Orange County. And it's not shipped down to San Diego or up into LA. It's all done here locally.
And you have 2 facilities where you could go into if you want, or otherwise you will drive out to them?
Yeah, so we have a facility in, 2 facilities in Huntington Beach, and we're opening up one in Westminster and maybe Las Vegas. So we're kind of exploring that opportunity right now.
We could eventually perhaps see OC Labs all across the country?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We're going to keep it small, keep it simple, and just really focus on the patient. You know, that's what's important. So if you're a mother or father, you know, need to get some testing done, it's like, instead of you taking the day off to go, you know, escort them, and they have other things they have to bring with them, and it's a lot, it's a project. And, you know, we'll just go there in about 10 minutes, we'll take care of business and come back and run the test.
Now, how does it work? So if you have a piece of paper and it has the labs checked on there, you can just go online and find those same codes to say this is what I need, or do you just say I just need blood work? How specific do you have to be?
So those requisitions really do help us on the specifics. We only need a copy of that. But to simplify the process, all a patient has to do is to call our laboratory, tell them that they have some blood work needs to be done, and we'll schedule it. We'll pre-qualify if there's any insurance issue or any send-out issue. But it's just a simple phone call, and then we have trained people that will take those calls and walk the patient through all their questions.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Sounds easy peasy. Love it.
Yeah.
So if you want to check them out and see what it's all about, you can go online to orangecountylabs.com or give them a call at the phone number on the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Bobby.
Stay with us. We have more coming up on This Day. We'll be right back.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
Dr. Vyas and the OCI Care staff believe in one-on-one care and the patient-physician relationship.
OCI Care was absolutely the most wonderful place I've ever been to as far as being taken care of.
The staff was very friendly and I felt very welcomed and relaxed.
How did I feel about Dr. Vyas? The man is very gentle, he is very caring, and totally involved with detail.
Welcome back to This Day. Joining me right now is U.S. Representative Young Kim. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me, Bobby.
Yes.
It's so good to see you.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to talk with you. I know you've been on the show many times, but my first time to meet you. And so I'm super curious about your background. You were born in South Korea and moved to Guam.
I was born in
and then
South Korea after I finished my elementary school. And then
Okay.
went to Guam because my sister was already serving in the United States Army and she was stationed there. She's the reason why my family was petitioned as immigrants.
Okay.
I finished my elementary school there and then went to Hawaii for high school education and then came to California to go to USC. Thereafter, I was working in a private sector, but little did I know that road will take me to working with then State Senator Ed Royce and then eventually to U.S. Congress. Worked with him for 21 years in his congressional office before I left to run for State Assembly, where I served a term in Sacramento. Now I serve you. It's truly an honor to work on behalf of California's 40th congressional district members, residents, including the Laguna Woods, every single day in Congress.
That's wonderful. What a great career you've had so far. How do you choose the things you want to focus on?
Well, it's really important that I listen to the residents and their needs. So having the town hall meetings, usually when I'm in Washington, D.C., we do telephone town hall meetings. I really love that venue because this is what people ask. We ask all kinds of survey questions, and what is the best way you want me to communicate with you? And they say telephone town hall. It's overwhelming. Through it, we ask questions about what are important issues. And so that's how I decide what issues I should focus as legislative priorities. And that is really important for places like Laguna Woods, protecting Social Security, Medicare, veterans benefits. These are very important because this is something that the seniors worked hard to pay into the system, and when they retire, they expect that to be there. And that's why I'm working hard to protect and strengthen those programs.
Yeah, and some of the things that you have done so far while in Congress was voting to reduce federal spending and to protect, like you said, Social Security and Medicare and veterans care.
Look, I'm also approaching Social Security age. And my husband is a retired U.S. Army veteran. And so he gets his health care from the veterans, VA offices. And so it is very important for me. So when I talk about how important it is to protect the programs that will benefit the senior citizens, especially those retirees, it's personal to me.
Now, what are some things that you do to protect it? How does that work?
Well, obviously there are programs that people pay into.
Yes.
I want to make sure that the federal government does not rein in to use the money that's already set aside as a fixed mandatory spending for Social Security, Medicare, and health care for veterans. Those are mandatory spending. As we discuss the budget and appropriations, there are a tendency to get into those mandatory spending to pay for other programs. I'm saying no. So we protect those programs, and then we talk about if there is a reasonable ways to reduce spending, then we do it in the non-defense discretionary funding. So that's why I recently voted for a bipartisan bill that will protect Social Security, Medicare, and VAs while doing spending cut in a reasonable way.
And so I was reading in some of the notes, it said when you voted for this, for the Fiscal Responsibility Act, that it cut $2 billion in government spending over the next 6 years.
That comes from the non-defense discretionary fund.
Okay.
We didn't touch the mandatory spending that included Social Security and Medicare. That is about 80% of our total federal government spending.
Okay. And then tell me about the $28 billion of unspent COVID funds.
Okay, so during the COVID, there were funds that were allocated through the CARES Act. Now, we have already declared, President Biden declared COVID era is over.
Correct.
The money was already allocated, but we have not spent it yet. So we are clawing back those money, which is about, $28 billion.
Yes.
That is the money that will go into cover some of the other cuts that we made in that non-defense discretionary fund. So we're not touching the mandatory spending, like I said, but those monies that were allocated but have not been spent, we are using that to pay for some other programs. Makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And one of the other things it talked about was putting the responsibility of student loans back on the borrower.
Exactly.
Instead of coming out of taxpayers.
So when you take out a student loan, you sign that promissory note to say that you will pay back. So when President Biden came in and said, we're going to forgive all student loans, the student loans doesn't go away. Somebody else have to pay for it. Right. Your children and my children who worked so hard to get rid of their student loans, now we're asked to pay for somebody else's student loan. So if you took out a loan, pay it back. Simple as that.
I know it took me 10 years to pay off my student loan.
Right. So by doing that, obviously, you know, we're not reining into the taxpayers' funds, and we'll be able to pay for those mandatory spending and protect Social Security and Medicare.
Yes, that's wonderful. I like that idea. And one of the other things of the protection, you talked about the veterans care. I thought this was really interesting that especially those for exposed to burn pits
Yes.
and other toxins during their time of service.
Right. So when veterans, either they are deployed or voluntarily sign up to be deployed to, you know, let's say we're talking about Vietnam, you know, Vietnam War, Korean War, or anything else that they were sent to fight for us to protect the freedom in conflict. They were exposed to those burn pits and other toxins that create their healthcare issues for life. Yeah. We need to make sure that the programs are available for the services for healthcare to take care of those veterans with those healthcare needs. Those are the things that I'm paying attention to so that we have the funds available to take care of it. That brings me to Veterans Fair that I'm working on. My office will be putting that on in July, I believe July 15th.
July 15th, yeah, 5 p.m. in the Community Center and Marketplace in Tustin. So yeah, let's talk about this for a moment. You said that it's for the Vietnam era veterans and or their spouse.
So we're focusing on that. So during the Vietnam, what is it? Veteran Resource Center, we're bringing a representative from Long Beach VA to talk about the benefits that are available for veterans that may be getting it already, but there are other programs they may not be aware of. So we want to educate the veterans for the benefits they are entitled to. At the same time, we want to honor those Vietnam era veterans. So we are presenting the congressional pin. This is a way to recognize and honor their service. At the same time, anyone who is listening, I want you to know if you know anyone in your neighborhood, in your community who are Gold Star families, we want to also honor Gold Star spouses. Because, you know, when we have veterans, when we have people serving in the military, it's not just the personnel that is serving our country, it's the families who are going through a lot of sacrifices. Yes. And especially if we have Gold Star spouses and the families, look what they have to go through. Absolutely. So we want to recognize you, recommend someone that you know who served during the Vietnam War or know any Gold Star families that should be recognized, please contact my office. Brandon Muller, who is our military veterans liaison, Mission VA or Anaheim Hills, 949-268-6706.
Wonderful, I like that. And then some of the other things is introducing National Nursing Workforce Center Act. Tell me about this.
So I work closely with former mayor and current councilwoman Beth Haney from City of Yorba Linda. She is also a very active nursing practitioner. She brought it to my attention the shortages of nurses. You know, nurses play a very vital role in protecting our public health, but they're also faced with burnouts, especially during COVID. We saw their brave, heroic work that they did. But it's very difficult for us to retain that workforce, especially in the nursing area. So we are creating a pilot program to make sure that we are taking an important targeted steps to stabilize and strengthen our nursing workforces. So that's that National Nursing Workforce Center Act.
Very important. A lot of great work that you're doing. I can't wait to see what else you're going to achieve during this term and the next, hopefully a while before you retire. Thank you for joining us. Oh, one last thing, just for anybody who wants to get a hold of you, Laguna Woods office hours, the third Tuesday of every month, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Laguna Woods City Hall. People can stop in to ask questions or anything they need.
So next Thursday will be July 20th, and we look forward to seeing a lot of constituents from Laguna Woods.
Oh, wonderful.
Come and talk to us about any needs that you have, because we've been able to work on constituent casework and return money to their pockets. especially those IRS monies, Social Security monies that they are entitled to. We were able to work on them, and so far we've helped over 4,000 constituent casework and returned over $20 million.
Wow.
So
wow.
we
That's
are
incredible.
here to serve you.
Yes.
Contact us.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much for
joining
having me.
us. We will have more of This Day right after this.
Want the government to take control of your assets and your legacy, or do you want to take control? Ellis Carlson Law is well positioned because we have a team of estate planning attorneys. You call us, we sit down with you, and we will define what is the customized estate plan that properly protects your legacy.
I'd like to personally thank L.S. Carlson Law for all my family's estate planning needs. I highly recommend them to everyone.
Hi, I'm Linda Honey. I'd be happy to help you and your family. Please call us today.
Hey, let's talk about our Monday movie for this July 3rd, and we have a good one, 1776. It almost is like we know what we're doing, and we picked a good patriotic movie for today as we head into July 4th, right? This one is with Ken Howard. Remember him from The White Shadow, the coach from The White Shadow? It is brought to us by Hogue, and it's going to be 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Let's find out some other things that are going on in our community. We have a great ice cream float social coming up, and that is going to be free to all residents, but you do need to call and make a reservation. RSVP ahead of time. It's brought to us by Memorial Care Saddleback Medical Center. They are hosting it, but you do need to make a reservation. It's going to be limited space. It's going to be in Clubhouse 7 on July 12th from 2 to 3 p.m. Make sure you get out there and enjoy that. And of course, the big day, July 4th, coming up in the village. We got some great stuff going on. We have, of course, the golf cart parade that everybody loves. That's going to be a fun one from 11 to 11:45. Look at those pictures. It's going to be wild. It's always is. Lots of fun for everybody to see how folks dress up their golf carts. And then we have the Stone Soul playing at Clubhouse 2 from noon to 2 p.m. Both of these events are free. They're going to be having some food available until 2 p.m. over at Clubhouse 2 as well. And get out there, enjoy the day, enjoy your 4th, have a safe and sane one. As we look at the weather, that's going to be pretty nice too for our 4th of July week and the rest of the week as well. It's going to be wonderful out there. The morning clouds are going to be part of our story for a little while longer for the rest of the week. But we do have these great sunny days coming up where the clouds really aren't going to be messing around with us too much. So 79 for today, 77 perfect for the 4th of July, 74, 73, and 74 again on Friday. So really a great week. Hope you get out there, have fun, safe and sane, be careful, and we will see you again on this day on Tuesday, July 4th. We have a great show for you there as well. We're going to do some firework fun facts, some 4th of July fun facts, and other stuff, as well as we're going to get an update from the Golden Rain Foundation folks. So make sure you stay with us on that one. I hope you enjoyed this day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.